I've spent a lot of time in Detroit Become Human, and it's a game that really sticks with you. I've played through it multiple times, and every time I find myself asking, did I make the right choice? What's so incredible about this game is how it makes you feel the weight of every decision. You're not just picking what's best for the story, you're thinking about what's best for the people involved. And that's what makes this game so emotionally intense.
You lied to me, Connor.
Most people look at Detroit Become Human and see it as just another choice-driven narrative, right? You think, okay, it's going to be a bit of a visual novel, some cool branching paths, maybe a bit of drama here and there, and that's fair. A lot of games in this genre tend to feel a little one-note, a bit too reliant on the big, flashy choices. But there's something about this game that makes it stand apart.
You don't know how much I've missed you.
What's wrong, Marcus?
I'm completely lost.
Carl.
The whole world's falling apart around me. I try to do the right thing. I look for answers. Instead, I just find more doubts and more uncertainty.
What this game does that others don't is that it makes the choices feel real. They aren't just set up for shock value or trying to get you to say wow in the moment. This game makes you feel like these decisions will actually matter. You're not just playing to see the consequences unfold, you're thinking about who you are as a person and who you want these characters to be in this world. The moral dilemmas don't just feel like empty choices. They reflect on a larger, much more complicated human experience. I've seen some other games try to do something similar, but none of them nail this as well as Detroit Become Human. I'm talking about the weight of each choice. The decisions don't just shift what happens next, they make you pause. They make you question your own values, and sometimes you find yourself thinking, maybe I should have done it differently.
Why did you kill her? She had nothing to do with any of this.
The game doesn't shy away from the tough stuff. You're playing androids in a world that's not too different from our own, and you'll be asking yourself hard questions about humanity, like human rights, freedom. It's not just a typical good versus evil scenario. So let's dive into what makes Detroit Become Human stand out. It's not just the choices, but the characters, the world building, and how it makes you second guess your own choices in the most human way possible. I'll talk through some of my toughest decisions and what I'd wish I'd done differently, and who knows, maybe you'll look at this game a little differently after hearing it. Let's get into it.
We are alive! And now, we are free!
The most surprising thing about Detroit Become Human is how much the game makes you care about the characters. You start off thinking, okay, androids, how real can they be? But before long you realize that they've given these machines personalities, fears, and hopes. They aren't just robots anymore, they're individuals, and that's where the real tension begins. Should Kara break the law to protect Alice? Should Marcus lead a violent revolution? These are all choices you'll find yourself having trouble making. Every decision feels like a bit of your soul on the line, not just the characters. You know, I'll be honest, Detroit had me hooked, not just because of the world, but because it's so personal. You'll find yourself thinking, what would I do in these situations? Like when Connor faces off with a deviant android and has to make a life or death decision. Sure, you could just shoot them, or you could try reasoning with them, but the longer you play, the harder it is to make these decisions. It's not just about the action, it's about how you feel in those moments, how you empathize with beings who at first glance shouldn't even feel. That's the beauty of the game for me. It blurs the lines between what's human and what's machine. Detroit doesn't just hit hard in the moment, it stays with you long after the screen goes black. The way it mixes actions, decisions, and philosophical questions about identity and freedom is rare. The game doesn't ask you to pick sides, it doesn't try to force you into being one thing. It lets you make the hard choices and reflect on what that really means. Whether you're guiding Kara, Connor, or Marcus, it doesn't matter. The choices will have consequences, and it's not about being right, it's about being human.
Want war, they'll get it. We are going to fight for our freedom and we will succeed or die.
In my playthrough, I took Marcus down the violent path that inevitably led to war with humans. But I don't know if this was the right choice. I still question the choices that I've made leading up to that confrontation. It didn't have to go like that. I could have shown force without becoming so violent. I could have shown that I was serious about my cause without making people afraid of me. But I made choices that ultimately led to the people being afraid of the androids and not trusting the androids. And then those choices led ultimately to a confrontation, which then resulted in war. But I also wondered along the way, what could I have chosen differently to get my point across without leading to a clash with humans? And this is what this game does to you. It makes you think about not only the choice you're making now, but where the game is headed. And I think that's what makes this game so amazing. What really makes Detroit Become Human worth playing, even now, is the way it quietly pulls you into its world. It's not just about the choices you make, it's about how those choices reflect something personal. Whether you play it once or 5 times, the emotional weight of the story sticks with you. You remember the moments where you hesitated, the ones where you surprised yourself. And that's something games rarely do. They usually want to entertain you, sure, but this one wants you to think, and maybe that's why it's still one of my favorite narrative games ever. Not because it's perfect, but because it tries to say something, and it trusts you to make your own version of that story. It doesn't matter if you've played this type of game before. It doesn't even matter if you usually skip dialogue-heavy games. Detroit is one of those rare titles that rewards your curiosity, and there's always that little voice in the back of your head wondering what could have happened if you had just done one thing differently. That's not just good design, that's lasting impact. So yeah, if this game has been sitting in your backlog or you've ever been a little curious about the game, I think Detroit Become Human is still absolutely worth your time. It's slow in the right ways, dramatic in others, and full of decisions that actually feel like they matter, and that's rare. Not to mention, the game will stick with you long after you played it. At least it has with me. Anyway guys, thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. This video was a little bit differently than what I normally do. I am trying to switch things up, find a new style, find a better style. If you did enjoy this video, feel free to let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to see more videos like this, let me know because it would really help me continue to make the content that you guys want to see. If you guys don't want to see it, that's fair, let me know. Also, I will switch back and pivot to my previous style of video. Honestly, if you've played this game, let me know in the comments below and let me know what ending you got. In my last playthrough, I got the war. But this game also has like 85 endings, I'm told, so there's a lot of endings here. So if you got a different ending, feel free to let me know in the comments below. Drop a like, share this video. You know, the normal stuff that everyone asks you to do. I hope you did enjoy this video. I would really like to continue making this type of video, but if it's not wanted, then I'm not going to make it. Anyways, hopefully I'll see you next time. Hippo out.